mic on. Hope it is. What's up, guys? Coach Gaglione here. This is another edition of the Climb to 185 series. I'm your host, Coach Gaglione. I've been involved with powerlifting and strength coaching for over 18 years. Did my first meet back in 2006. First and only known man to squat 800 pounds in 6 weight classes, and today I am trying my hand at strict curl training. I'm about 6 weeks out from my second official competition. I did a tune-up meet at my place, which I'm not really counting, but nonetheless, I guess it is official, so I guess if we're really splitting hairs, it'll be my third. But kind of trained through that meet. This is the meet I'm kind of focused on. This is kind of the serious prep. I might have mentioned before, I'm about 6 weeks out. I've been doing a lot of 3-week waves, starting to increase my frequency of the curl. So right now I'm curling Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So maybe not be the exact ideal split of way of doing things, but doing the max effort day today. Volume day is the second day, and then the third day is my dynamic effort day, which I typically, this cycle I'll be doing exclusively with chains. Today's a heavy singles day, so looking to do something north of 170, so that's really exciting. Also, you can see we got the Boss bar, the Bells of Steel, 100% raw bar. So essentially, this is going to be the competition bar that we're going to be using moving forward at our Delaware location. Make it a bar at our New York location as well. So this is with the collars. This is about 30 pounds. So I'll be kind of using that for my day. Basically the same as a gopher bar. It's a little bit longer, and it just looks kind of cool with the gold and red, so it kind of matches Gaglione strength colors, which is nice. So anyways, I'll kind of give my thoughts maybe on the bar. It definitely is an aggressive knurl, but the camber and all that is the same as the gopher bar, so get a little bit more of a mechanical advantage with that kind of deep inside grip, and that's kind of the grip I'm kind of perfecting. Wearing a belt today, wearing wrist wraps today, just haven't been feeling the best joint-wise, but otherwise, my body's feeling good, strength's coming back, forearm has been feeling better, knock on wood, so we'll kind of see what we got today. We're gonna work up to a heavy single, so I'll probably just stop yapping. I might yap a little bit. Once I get to like north of 140, 150, we'll increase the warm-ups a bit, but the goal is just a single above 170 pounds, and then we're gonna do some overload work with reverse bands, which you guys will see. And one of the things I think is important too, so when it comes to using reverse bands for overload, the biggest benefit that I see is that you get a full range of motion on the lift, whereas if you're doing something like a block pull, a board press, things of that nature, you're not really kind of getting practice through the full range of motion. The downside of the bands, the downside of just bands in general, is that they are going to give you some artificial stability. They are going to kind of put you on a track. So like even in this case, the band's going to not only pull me up, but also pull me back, which is advantageous. But so one of the reasons, the way that we utilize reverse bands at Gaglione Strength, and that we've done for quite some time with a lot of success, so typically what we'll do is we'll do some straight weight practice first. So we're still getting that stability effect. We're still getting that kind of true technical practice. And then again, only for the sake of just overload only, and also just for confidence, this is going to allow me to kind of touch weights north of 180 pounds much more often, and without as much risk. It's going to unload you in the more vulnerable position of the lift, and also kind of give you some confidence to kind of get you out of the bottom, teach you to accelerate through the lockout. So that's kind of my take on reverse bands. I don't think that you should be, just as an example, and I believe I kind of messed up the math, whatever, so I thought it was like, but anyways, my best reverse band ever is like in the 100, close to 200 pounds, but not quite, but it's like, it was over like 190, and my best competition lift ever is 180 pounds, so not a huge contrast. So if I was able to do like 225 or 230 with reverse bands on a curl, it's probably like not reasonable. So typically, like in our system and what I've kind of found a lot, so even with my last few powerlifting competitions, it's pretty rare that I'll do like an 800-pound squat in training at this point, but I'm almost like always, I couldn't tell you, besides the single ply meet I did, I haven't not squatted 800 pounds in quite some time. I couldn't tell you the last time. It might have been well over 6-7 years ago at this point, potentially. That sounds about right. So something in that neighborhood. And typically, like all my training weights will be under 800 pounds as far as just straight weight, but I will use with chains and bands and reverse bands, that's how I'm able to touch 800 plus a little bit more often in training and still kind of get to the meet healthy. So something to consider. You do need to work on your stability. You do need to work on your strength down at the bottom. But in terms of a peaking strategy, I think reverse bands is a great option. So we're going to get into the workout today. Let me clip myself here. I don't know why it's doing that. That's doing okay. Maybe I'll plug you in between. I'm still going to be wearing, I'm just starting off, if you notice, like with competition gear out of the gate, just because I really want to get specific with my bar path, my setup, and I want to treat every weight like it's a max. So I'm going to do a couple reps here, a couple reps. I might even do multiple sets, but I'm going to, again, primarily work in singles today. Need to make sure that I get a good pause at the beginning to kind of simulate that start command. And sometimes with the empty bar, I might just do some pauses. I might work my positions a little bit. So my elbows come out, shoulders up, elbows out, elbows in, shoulders down at the finish. And that's kind of how I like to execute the curl. Just bar even maybe feels even a little bit thicker. We'll kind of see how it goes, but so far so good. So first jump will usually be a corner, and then if I'm feeling good, I'll go right to a 45. I need some pounds, so I'm going to be training in pounds. Always check your clamps. So start with singles. Okay. All right, so that's 120 pounds. The bar definitely feels a little bit thicker than the Gopher bar. So this may be my first and only time this cycle using the Boss bar, but I wanted to at least give it a try. Oops, I'm definitely not doing that. Getting ahead of myself, boys and girls. All right, so I'm gonna start making. We'll do a 20-pound jump, and then probably do a smaller increase after that. So this will be, let's make it 140 pounds. This is kind of like a pretty standard jump for me. Then from here I might, take 10 or 15-pound jumps. Usually when I get to like 140, 150 range is when starts to get like more in like the max effort, higher percentage range for me. Like I said, last contest I did 170 beltless. My best all-time curl is 180 pounds, so anything kind of north of 140. I definitely need to, really anything over a plate, but anything north of 140 for sure. Got to take it with a little bit more seriousness, and yeah. So single felt good. My kind of lowering phase was a little weird. It probably wasn't. It did move well, but kind of see how this goes. So starting to do some singles, 140 for the next week. Alright, so overall that felt pretty good. I definitely think I can feel slight thickness to the bar. So, I'll see how the actual performance goes, but I may elect to switch back to the Gopher bar, at least for the last 3 weeks. But, you know, we'll still kind of see how the rest of this workout goes. 140 felt good. I'm going to go up to 155. Yeah, I think 155, and then we'll kind of go from there. 155, or sorry, 160. Yeah, something in that range, so we'll kind of go from there. But so far, so good. All right, 155 on the bar. So that was 155. I didn't feel like great, but it moved well when I rewatch the videos. Sometimes that's why it's good to watch your videos in between the sets. But I'm going to elect to go up to 165 next and take a smaller jump, and then we'll kind of go from there. Yeah, so 165. The goal is to get one single above 170. See how 165 moves, and then we'll go from there. This is 165 on the bar. This will be last warm up before the top set. Let's get it. So I can definitely kind of feel, starting to feel a difference with the heavier weight. I can't tell if it's the diameter or the length or some combination, but it does feel like it's a little bit thicker. I feel like, I don't know if it's the Cerakote, but I can notice a difference for sure. But with that being said, still moved okay. I kind of botched my setup a little bit. I'm gonna take my time, get a good rest. We're gonna go up to 172, That's what I'm going to elect to do, and that'll be my heaviest curl of the year. So I'm going to have to fight for this one. I'm going to have to make sure everything is on point. But at the same time, when you're going into a top set, when you're going into something heavy, it's really important just to kind of focus on execution and not really do anything different. Just kind of hone in maybe a little bit more, be more present, be more locked in, as they say, as the kids say these days. So we go up to 172 pounds. That'll be my top single for the day, and then we'll go from there. Getting some different colors on here now. Well, I know that was a little bit generous with the start command, but I lifted the weight up. I'm definitely thinking that I'm going to elect to not use this bar anymore unless it's going to be in a competition, because it did seem a lot harder for me to hold, and my grip is one of my biggest issues right now. So it feels a little thicker. I may kind of look into that. But that being said, so most I've done on a curl, I think, I want to say since the end of 2023, I'm pretty sure, because I don't think I did. So that's, at least if my memory kind of serves me correctly, I'm just going to go off memory here. So, because the end of 2023. So anyways, pretty happy with that. So that's about 93% of my goal. So, I still got a ways to go, but I still got 6 weeks to clean it up. And I think, like I said, probably going to just switch over to the competition plates. But that being said, making progress. So I think it's important, especially as we get older. I'm almost a master's lifter. I've been involved in powerlifting since 2006. Sometimes kind of striving for all-time PRs all the time, every single training cycle, it's just not a reasonable ask at a certain point. And it's not to say so, anyway. So I think that sometimes it's good to have, those long-term goals in mind. It's good to have, some of those reach goals to kind of keep you motivated long-term. But I think sometimes you got to zoom back in and just think about, okay, well, what's going to give me some positive training momentum into the next session, and then eventually into the next training cycle, the next training block. So for me, I haven't sniffed 170, so this is the second time I've curled over 170 this year, and I don't think I was able to successfully do this. Can't remember. Last year, anything over 160 with my forearm injury and stuff was kind of a major issue. So anyways, got the weight done. It was a little harder than I'd like. It was a little bit not to the best standard, but we cleaned it up. And then again, I'm excited, and I think I'll be, definitely ready for game day, and definitely kind of got some things to move on. So we're gonna do some reverse band overload work now. I'm gonna try to keep my grip intact. So we're gonna do some reverse band overload, and we're also gonna do a heavy pick. Again, my grip is an issue, so just taking out the weight is a challenge. So in order for me to have a more reasonable start command, in order for me to get more comfortable just taking the weight out, taking out more than you're going to do in a contest is a great way. So whether you're if you're a power lifter, if you self-hand out on bench especially, just practicing the pick, practicing the start, practicing yourself, getting yourself in a good position. So whether that's a walkout and a squat, an unrack on a bench, these can be great peaking strategies. Or if you are Potentially, the other kind of thing it's good for is just kind of conditioning your spine and your joints for heavier loads. Also, when you're just kind of going a much lighter, so kind of throwing in some occasional kind of, again, just walkouts and unracks with some heavier weights here and there if you don't have like a meet for a really long time. Certainly in a peaking cycle, but also like in a situation where maybe you're not touching heavier weights, or you don't maybe have access to bands and chains and things like that. So it is a way to kind of get your nervous system ready, just kind of build some confidence with some heavier weights. All right, so next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do some overload work. So I'm going to elect to, so this is 170 pounds. We're going to go 180. We're going to go 187. Yeah, we're going to go 187. Sometimes with this bar, it gets me a little. I'm not the best at doing bar math with this bar. Definitely a little bit more used to using, like if it 45, 65, whatever. So that can be a little bit tricky for me. So we're gonna go 6. We're gonna go 87, and then I'll do a heavy pick. See how this goes. This is pretty close to like, and again, this is around my goal weight, but also it's pretty close to like my PR. Like I said, reverse band PR is kind of like in the 190 range, so we're getting up there, but I gotta get like more confident with these heavier loads and kind of do that. So again, I'm not sure how this is gonna, react with the boss bar and all that. And it's a little bit, so I'm kind of playing with the setup still, and I'm not sure if I want to keep this on the outside, keep it on the inside. The inside would probably be a little bit better, but sometimes it's a little bit cumbersome to get it, to get it over the big 45-pound plate. So that's kind of like the only snag with this particular setup. But another kind of way you could set up reverse bands, if you had like a curl station and you were able to kind of have a pull-up bar or something like over the tops, that way you could have a little bit more of a direct line of pull. But nonetheless, again, I found like this was a good contrast, and it wasn't giving me too much assistance. Definitely was giving me a good amount of assistance at the bottom, but it's definitely letting go at the top, and I can kind of feel definitely that last quarter, feeling like pretty close to the full weight, if not the full weight. Again, I think I definitely could feel the diameter of the bar for sure, but I'm going to do a heavy pick, and then I think it's worth still showing you guys that. So we're going to go something in the 190 range, and I'm just going to do a single and a hold and really try to treat it like I was actually going to curl it, so still keeping the same tension and all that. So I've got once. So this will make it. So I'll make it go 195. $195 heavy pick, and that's all she wrote today. Again, max effort day is all about getting in and out, high intensity, low volume. Like I said, I'm getting my volume. And the other thing I'll probably consider, but the dynamic day is hard for sure. So I'm definitely fatigued going into this session, but maybe that's not necessarily a bad idea because I'll be fresh in the contest. So Friday's workout is pretty tough, but that's kind of like when I have time to do it. And this is also the same, I think, might have been not the exact same format, but I did do dynamic day on Friday and max effort day on Sunday. The last less successful training cycle. So I'm gonna just roll with the punches here, get my heavy pick in. I was able to accomplish the goal of the day a little harder than I want. Standard could have been a little bit better. And hopefully I'll get my wife to give me some commands leading into the meet just to kind of keep myself honest. But anyways, I usually, again, I seem to hold it together on game day, but definitely want to, improve on that. So stay tuned for the heavy pick. All right, so it's going to be the last kind of major lift of the day. I'm going to do some accessory lifts after this. Again, I may or may not make a vlog about that, and it probably won't be today. But I've been doing exerter squats, I've been doing bent over rows, I've been doing reverse grip bench. So if you guys are interested in seeing like kind of the secondary exercises, let me know, drop in the comments. Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me on social media because again, I don't like living in the YouTube comment section. Look what happened to Brett Cooper. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, she's doing great. Heard she had a show called The Comment Section, which is no longer a thing, but she's killing it on YouTube, so she probably knows better than me. Anyways, I'm just yapping, but we're gonna do this heavy pick. So again, just working on the takeout, working on my grip strength here. This is 195 pounds. Woo, Nelly. The balls bar. All right, that's all she wrote. I'm gonna log in my results on Turnkey Coach. That actually didn't feel too bad, but again, I could definitely feel it seems like a slightly increased diameter from the gopher bar, which I'm not used to, so it's probably one of those things where if I trained on it more often, I'll get used to it. But again, I'm gonna practice how I play. The meet's gonna be the gopher bar, so I will switch back to the gopher bar for the rest of this training cycle. But yeah, first impressions of the bar, I think it's really good. It looks nice. It's more convenient for the, it's easy to get it to either a 30 pound or a 33, 15 kilo load, which is helpful for meet directors. So whether you're using calibrated pounds, like a lot of times the RPS meets do, or if you're using pretty much the national world standard is calibrated kilos. So this is easily, it's a 12.5 kilo bar, really beautiful bar, aggressive knurling, highly recommend. So stay tuned for more events. We're going to have more strict curl opportunities, specifically at our Delaware location in Milton, and we're going to still have our August of Arms competition in New York. But definitely we're going to have more opportunities for competitions here for both the tested as well as the untested category. So if you know somebody maybe it's on like TRT or something like that, and they can't do a tested meet, we got you covered. Kind of keep it fair, but also provide a platform for all powerlifters, no matter what their situation. So I really appreciate you guys coming on. Again, I'm going to log my work on Turnkey Coach. If you guys want to support the program, check out the links below. Please subscribe. Please share us with a friend. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.